Seriously? Really? Rain? Every day? It's harder and harder to be a creative these days, isn't it? Hello, everyone. Hope you're having a fantastic Friday. This is really not the place to conduct business, but what can I tell you? The rain has been brutal this week. Yep, this is our hurricane season, typhoon season, monsoon season, high lightning strike season, just generally your crappy weather season all around. But this is no place to make a video. Let's get out of here.
Now isn't that so much better? Bye-bye rain for now. I told you, we just had to get out of there. That was not the best spot for us. I think I like this spot a lot better. What do you think? See? I told you, if you wait long enough, it gets beautiful out. But now that we got the location set again, today we're doing strange and unusual stories from around the world. You know the segment where I share with you all the oddities that I've been able to find throughout the week. Today, we're starting our first story in the UK. That's right. Our story comes from Bristol in the UK. There is Ted the Parrot Man. You may have heard of this. You may have seen him on YouTube. Our good friend Ted, he and his buddy that you see here, he said this is the only living thing that's ever cared for him in his life. So to share in the wonderment and beauty, our good friend Ted has decided to have his face tattooed with feathers, removed his ears, because if you didn't notice, parrots don't have ears, and even risk going blind by having his eyes inked so they could be black like a parrot's. Oh, Ted, you're the man. He's disowned his family. It's not like he's a loner or anything. He does have a family. He just said that no one in his life has cared for him as much as his parrot companion. So therefore, to show his loyalty to his parrot friend, he's gone ahead and decided to try to join their world as much as possible. Now, I'm sure we got a million pet lovers out there, right? Cat lover, dog lover, fish, reptiles, snakes, you name it. You got that kind of dedication to your pet friend? Do you grow a tail? Do you strap on a fur coat and run around in the summer like that to show your dog you're down with them? I don't know. I kind of like Ted's spirit, and I mean, yeah, I guess sometimes in life we feel like everybody's not treating us the way we wish they would. But I don't know. I think if our good friend here, Ted, was to reach out to his family, maybe just one more time before cutting off your ears. I mean, did you see that? That's not very appealing, Ted. I'm sorry. He's been on the talk show circuit. You could definitely catch a lot of his videos here on YouTube. I believe he had a couple of other specialties that he used to promote before he went parrot. I think he was a piercing guy and, I don't know, reptile man at one point. But parrot it is for life now. He's the ultimate parrot head, right? You see this photo? That's our buddy Ted and his best friend. Closer to him than his children and his siblings. But let me know in the comments down below. This ain't about me. What do you guys think? Joining the parrot world? Willing to cut off your ears? I don't know, man. I make all kinds of sacrifices for my feathered friends. We used to have birds. I love birds. Not cutting off my ears, not inking up my eyes and going blind. Just not my thing. Maybe I just don't have that much heart. But Ted did. So, Ted, I'll let you know what the rest of the audience thinks. Parrot Man, in, out? Definitely interesting, right? Well, I think I have another animal-based story that'll catch your fancy. Let's see what that one's all about. Our next story, I think you really be able to sink your teeth into it. It's a horrible pun, but I couldn't help it. Our next story is Zookeeper saves man from feeding himself to tigers. Huh? Pretty good, right? That's not one you hear every day. Oh, this story comes to us from China. Tell you what, when they gotta go over there, they gotta go. It seems a 27-year-old man was very distraught. He was at the zoo the other day, and his passion for animals just overwhelmed him. He was really taken back by the treatment of such a beautiful wild animal such as this. Beautiful white tiger. He was so overwhelmed with guilt that, we've caged this animal and destroyed its spirit, that he felt he needed to, pay homage to the beast by feeding himself to the tiger. I always want to say lion. I'm a Leo, but this time around, tiger, right? What's he do? I mean, he's hell-bent on this. It's the zoo. It's regular, operating hours. It's full of people. But to show his complete dedication and seriousness, he climbs a tree, wheels himself out on a branch, and plops himself right down into the cage or environment. It actually wasn't a cage. I mean, from the pictures that I'm seeing and that I've posted down below, it's an environment. I get it. He's not in the wild and he's not free, and I'm sure we're stifling his spirit, but he's a zoo animal. You probably put him back in the wild, I doubt he could survive at this point. But this man was so passionate and overwhelmed with his love for the animal that he wanted to feed himself to it. Only problem is, these zoo animals are usually very well fed, such as this one. So he actually had to chase it around and poke at it for a while. And about that time is when the people alerted, the authorities at the zoo, and they were able to make their way to the cage. Not to say that the tiger didn't get pissed off, take a swipe at him and drag him around. From what was reported, he had to be taken to the hospital with serious injuries. So, he did a good job at, pulling the tiger's tail. I can't help myself. This story lends itself to these horrible puns. Please forgive me. But anyway, getting back on track. Our friend was unsuccessful in satisfying the lion's desires to have human flesh. Because again, they're very well fed and humans aren't that appealing to them. It's not a natural food source. So, and I'm pretty sure the lion was looking for him to probably throw it a steak or something, because he's fed by the zookeepers. And the zookeeper was actually able to go in, pull this guy away from the lion and get him out of there. So, thumbs up, zookeeper. Didn't get your name. It wasn't in any of the stories when I cross-referenced this, but you are our hero of the week. You are big bad zookeeper. We honor you. That was awesome. I don't know, man. Even if my job was at the zoo, I'd be like, you see what this dude did? Pretty sure I'm not going in after him. It's like, I'll clean up. That's what I'm paid for. But nope. This was a real cowboy. He went straight on in. I think he smacked the tiger upside the head and said, give me that idiot, and dragged him out of there. Because they didn't report any injuries to the zookeeper. And probably because the animal was familiar with that, that person. That was the guy that brings him a steak. And when he saw, he was taking it away, he was like, yeah, this ain't a steak. But I don't know. Now, ask yourself, do you love animals the way our friend loves animals? Does it really bring you down to see like a circus, or you never go to the zoo? You're one of them people that never go to the zoo. I get it. I respect you. I mean, everybody has their own opinion and they're entitled to, their beliefs without question. I'm a big supporter of that. But I don't know. I like a circus. I like a zoo. I think when done correctly with, passion and compassion in mind, the animals can be treated well. I don't think everybody realizes that some of these animals that you see in zoos and circuses are rescue animals that were abandoned in the wild and almost dead. So they don't really have the skill set to survive there anymore. But I understand. I mean, I've seen really horrendous, cruel zoos here in Florida where I live back in the 70s and 80s when I first came down. There was a place I boycotted. It was an inhumane prison for animals. You can't call it a zoo. It was actually one of those 1960, 1950 sideshow attractions on the side of what's called US Alternate 19. And they had the world's largest gator and the world's oldest gorilla. It was an animal hell. But we put an end to that. But no one jumped in a cage. So where does your spirit lie? Does your spirit animal tell you to sacrifice yourself to the bigger beast? Or are you a more behind the scenes advocate like myself? It's like, I'll speak up, I'll support, I'll march and reach out, but not feeding myself to any animals anytime soon. But maybe that's the difference between me and you. Maybe your animal spirit's way more stronger than mine. But let me know in the comments down below. One more story. This one should tickle your heart and boggle your mind and scare the life out of you. Got you curious? Well, hang in there. Here it comes. All right. I promised you one more heartwarming story. Let me share with you the story of Cinnabon 2. Ever heard of it? Ever heard of him or her? Think it's a food? You'd be wrong. Cinnabon 2 is this adorable little kitten that you see here. You see, Cinnabon 2 is the adorable little kitten of a Texas couple. This young couple that you see below. You see, Cinnabon 2 is a clone. That's right. This Texas couple spent $25,000 on cloning their beloved cat, Cinnabon, who died 9 years ago. All right? So keep that in mind. Cat dead 9 years. All right? Clone Cinnabon 2 now, 2019. So you may ask yourself, how would one clone a cat? Well, you would need saliva and hair samples. So, to me, I could see possibly having a hair sample of my beloved cat, but 9 years later is really pushing it. But I really had to stop and say, where would they come up with a 9-year-old saliva sample? What wet and moist chew toy do they still have around? What blanket have these people been crying into? I mean, that's the part I didn't get. And let's draw this out one step further. This is done by a Texas-based DNA company. So, yep, right here from the good old USA. You heard Texas, so you're correct. There is a company that will clone your pet. Is there that big of a demand? Can you really make a living off cloning dead pets? I mean, obviously so. 25 grand. You probably don't have to do too many a year, but Cinnabon 2 is 6 months old. She is 100%, according to the owners, a exact duplicate of their beloved Cinnabon 1, who we don't know how Cinnabon 1 died. So, I mean, these people have hair and saliva samples from 9 years ago. May want to question what's going on there. And 25 grand just laying around to clone a cat. Now I'm going to ask you something. So you're a cat lover, you're an animal lover. You must believe in rescue animals. You must believe in shelter animals. So if you have $25,000 to spare on a cat, do you A, have your 9-year-old really creepy cat recloned at the cost of $25,000, or do you go to a shelter, find a kitten that is very similar to Cinnabon 1, and you can call Cinnabon 2 or 2.0 or Junior or whatever, and then donate $25,000 to that said shelter? I'm pretty sure they would give you Cinnabon 2 and replacement Cinnabon 2s forever. Well, if Cinnabon 2.0 had a problem, I'm pretty sure the shelter you donated $25,000 to would be more than happy to supply you with kittens for the rest of your life. So, I don't know. That one kind of, put me off. It made me start thinking about how selfish that is and what a waste of resources. And they claim to be cat lovers, but they've done a disservice to the cat kingdom, right? I mean, damn, $25,000 to an animal shelter is probably maybe 8 months to a year's worth of operating expenses. Why would you not seek out a twin of Cinnabon 2? Twin, right? I don't know. Just me. Maybe you guys know. And you'll leave it in the comments down below. I insist. Nah, I'm only kidding. Whatever suits your fancy. But do you find that curious? Would you just not donate the money to a shelter and rescue one cat there and really help the shelter out? I mean, from the looks of things, they've been making the rounds on the talk shows and all that. Doesn't look like the 25 grand set them back at all, because they're talking about Cinnabon 3. They love this idea, so as long as they're around, I don't know, they'll be collecting saliva and storing it. But that is my heartwarming story for you guys today. Cinnabon 2, isn't she adorable? Isn't she worth every bit of $25,000? Oh, I'm sure there's gonna be plenty of people in the comments down below that say, she's priceless, she's worth more than that, I'd pay anything to get my cat back. But really, at the expense of saving thousands and thousands of others? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But you guys let me know. I'm more interested in what you think. I know my opinion. But, that being said, and me just getting so incredibly lucky. I mean, look, shot an entire video. We caught that little bit of sundown. And we started what? Locked inside a car, encased in rain. It's a win-win all around for me. But, y'all know how we do it. Comment, like, subscribe. 2.2, that's why a 2.0 story today. Thank you all from the bottom of my heart. 2,200, man. We're headed there, people. 5,000, we're getting closer every day. Love ya. See everybody in the next one.